Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing BoltThrower in the 5-minute pool on ICC. Let's play Queen's Gambit Decline against BoltThrower, and I'll play, well, he didn't play Knight C3, so I'll just play a conventional line. Plays Bishop F4, Castle, Rook C1. I have done this before too. I'm going to play A6. Yeah, A6. And if he plays E3, let's go Knight BD7. And if this bishop moves, I'm probably going to take on C4. And then play B5, and maybe a quick C5 thereafter. This is not quite theory, but I think it's a valid way of playing for black. So H3 is probably a useful move. I think I may just take and then play B5. And I'll have to decide if I want to play C5 immediately thereafter or if I want to go Bishop B7 first. It might decide where he puts the bishop, assuming that he does capture on C4, which he did. Okay, so C5 right away, or just Bishop B7 and then C5. Seeing as how after C5 there's no danger of him playing D5, I think I can just do it right away. Yeah, I don't think it requires any preparation. So we'll play it like that. A4 would be a typical undermining move. He plays it. Now, if I play C4, am I getting any like pawn roller that could be of use? Kind of, but what about taking on D4? If I take D4, he takes the knight, E5, knight C6. That's not good for me. If C4 kind of intrigues me. I can't defend this pawn. I need to advance it or do something with my C pawn. B4, he'll play knight E4 is the thing. What about B4, knight E4, queen A5? Does it seem all right? Looks marginally acceptable. I'm going to play it this way. This perhaps isn't a good idea, but we'll find out. I think he'll play bishop B1. He does. And now maybe queen B6, just trying to keep the pawn structure together. This is an unorthodox handling of this line, to be sure. He could play an immediate E4, but I'll post my bishop on B7. Does play E4. So what if I play B4? B4, E5, are you really going to play? All right, show me what you got. He does play E5. So if I take, you take here, I take here, you take E7. If I take on C3, you take F6. I take B2, you can play rook takes C4. I can also just play knight D5 and be solid right now. Let's do it this way. I'm a bit more intrigued by this possibility. We'll see if he plays rook takes C4. I think I might be able to hold on to this pawn. Like I see a line or two where maybe I can do that. That's why I'm going down this road. Ooh, this can get sharp. I mean, there's even moves like bishop takes F7, H7 rather, that must be calculated. Bishop takes H7, king takes, and then knight G5 check, going after my king. Let's make him calculate it, not me. So I can recoup a little bit of time. Let me just check BoltThrower's stats. We'll have a spare moment. Oh, he does take there. Gotta take here now. So if bishop takes H7 now... Oh, did I just lose a piece out of this? Yeah, I did. I miscalculated that completely. Yeah, that was my mistake. I just completely miscalculated. Well, now he can take on C1 with the queen, and he's up a piece. Oh, that's a shame. Do I have any compensation? I'm down 2 pawns. I'm just going to take here and wreck his structure. I missed that in-between move. I should have seen that. My mistake on the calculation. Can I grab this d4 pawn? Probably not in view of rook d1 on the next move. So I think I'll just play this. Now I gotta play fast and try to complicate. It's gonna be tough since he has 2 bishops. Other than being down a piece, my position's largely okay. Okay, so my dark squares are weak. Knight d5, maybe? Or knight f6 going to d5. Let's try that. Bishop e4, yep. I feel like if I take, I'm going to lose quickly. Take, queen c6, like d5 even, is a big problem. Because I'm so weak on the dark squares. Oh, man. He might go d5 anyways. Well, that's a risk we'll have to take. Ooh, here he has rook b1. No, he doesn't have rook b1. At least for the moment. Like rook b1, I have knight takes e4, removing the defender. At least that complicates. So I'm going to try to play queen b4 next move. It's something. It's not much, but it's something. There he can play it. Okay, let's do this and then queen b4. Again, it's really not much. The dark squares around my king are so tender. Like queen f3 now? Ugh. Queen f3, I can't take on a4. Queen f6 is just going to kill me. And queen f3, I'd have to play queen e7 more than likely. I'm sure my days are numbered. It would be a dream if he took on b4. At least then I can point to my connected pawns as compensation. I don't know how I blanked on e takes f8 with check. Completely escaped my attention. Let's go h5. So he can play queen f6 whenever he wants and just force the queens off the board. That's probably the simplest way to win. Ooh.
Check.
Ooh, he dropped his rook. Ouch. Oh, I might get away with a big one here. Yeah, he just resigned. Sorry, BoltThrower. Yeah, that was ugly. Let's go back and take a look. So I haven't played a ton of QGDs from the black side. I was ready to play in the event of knight c3. I was going to play this bishop e7 move as a way to avoid the exchange variation with bishop g5. But he played a conventional move. Line, rather. So bishop f4 and castles. I've done this move before, rook c1. I actually kind of like this, like delaying e3. It's flexible. You don't commit to pushing this pawn. I mean, there are actually some cases where I've seen white play g3, bishop g2. So I played a6. This move is perhaps not the best. Playing knight bd7 is better. I think this is a more useful move because a6 like could be helpful in some cases, but in other times it's like a misplaced move. So e3, I played knight bd7, and then h3. So this is the point. Like he doesn't want to play bishop d3 until I've captured on c4. Then he's going to develop the light square bishop. So he doesn't want to develop the light square bishop until I've actually captured this pawn. And the problem for me here is I don't have a lot of other good useful moves to make. I could play c5, I suppose, but then I'm kind of accepting like a potential isolated pawn scenario, my d pawn. No, I wasn't quite ready to do that yet. So I took on c4 and then played b5. Let's start the engine up right about here. Maybe c5 first, I don't know. But b5, bishop d3, and now I played c5, he played a4. This is an annoying move, because if just left to my own devices, I mean, I could play bishop b7, rook c8. Black has no problems, so he immediately starts undermining my chain. And I wanted to avoid b4, knight e4. I think this is like slightly better for white. Unless I can play this and not lose this pawn. How does that work? Take, knight takes, pawn takes, rook c8. I guess I might regain it. Okay. Yeah, see, something like this would be acceptable. But I really wanted to avoid b4, knight e4. I thought this was in white's favor. So I played c4. Computer seems to think it's okay. Bishop back to b1. Queen b6, also fine according to the engine. Bishop b7, e4, b4, e5. Oh, knight h5. a move I completely did not look at. Knight h5, and now he's got 2 pieces on pre. And if he moves the knight back to e2 to defend the bishop, then bishop takes f3, and he cannot take with his queen. So he'd have to take with a pawn. Knight takes, bishop g5, potentially winning the exchange. Guess he has queen c2, threatening mate, g6, queen e4. But black is doing well after rook c8. He's still in the pin. We've stabilized the center. I have a potential for a pass c-pawn. This does look nice. I have a bunch of pawns on light squares, like blunting his queen-bishop battery on the light square diagonal. Okay. Yeah, knight h5. It just felt like there was something here, but I got kind of lazy with my calculation. Took here, took here. Yeah, I just missed an in-between move at the end of the line. And then I'm down a piece. So if I'm going to go down this b takes c3 path, which does seem to be okay, I have to refrain from capturing on b2 then, and play knight takes f6. B takes c3, bishop a3, attack his rook, rook c2, and what now? Bishop e4 or queen b3. And black has pressure. So in conclusion about that, it seems like black has good play after bishop b7, e4. Because if white can't play e4, I mean, certainly black must be doing pretty reasonably. e4 is the most direct way to play in the center, make use of white's extra center pawn, but I just misevaluated these complications. I took, and that was bad. I should have played knight h5. So white went up a piece in this case, but we were able to trick them. I think the easiest way for them to win, actually like the way they played it entirely, but they probably should have just played queen f6. I mean, right here, or after rook c1, at least h5. I mean, h5 is an indication I have nothing to do. Oh, wait a second. I could have played queen g5 here, but it's bad. I didn't see queen g5 was possible here. That's funny. But it's still bad if I go do this, because he actually has this move at the end. And I have to run with my king to avoid mate. Queen h6 would cover the g7 mate, but it doesn't cover queen h8 mate. So I'd have to run, yeah, and then he can at the very least just go pick up the rook. Okay, so it's good I didn't play queen g5 there, even though I didn't see it. So h5, but now after he vacates the diagonal, now this is just winning because he resigned. But if he had continued like something like this, and if he comes back to f3, we can cover like queen g5. Yeah, there's not enough ways for white to threaten stuff. Bishop f6. I could even play queen h6 if I needed to, I think. My c-pawn should be sufficient for victory. Yeah, queen f8 coming if need be to stop the d-pawn. All right, so lucky swindle there at the end, and kind of an interesting skirmish in the middle game when white played e4. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.